Am I the a-hole for kicking my friend out after she said I was treating my dog like a servant? I, female 27, recently moved into my new house. I have a golden retriever named Nala, and she's the sweetest. I'm deaf too, and that bit is important. When I moved in, I had a bit of trouble having flashing light doorbells put in, and there was a while I had to go without. My friends and family know to give me a call when they drop by, instead of ringing the doorbell, but unfortunately I have missed many a package this way. For some reason, Nala caught onto this. At one point, she began letting me know when someone was at the door. She'd do this in multiple ways. If I was in the living room where I can see the front door, she'd go and paw at the door. Or if I was upstairs, she'd come and gently headbutt me to let me know someone's there. It took me a while to catch on to what she was trying to do though. And now, even though I have my doorbell installed, she still does it. I did not teach her how to do any of this. She just decided to help me out. Lol. Recently, I brought a friend over for the first time. This is the first time she's met Nala as well. The first thing she comments on is how I named her Nala, because apparently everyone and their grandma names their golden Nala. Well, Lion King was my favorite movie growing up. Sue me. Then I showed her a video of Nala pawing at the door because it got a bit awkward after that comment. It's usually a great icebreaker. She laughed and thought it was cute. I showed her another one and she asked me why Nala was doing that and I explained. She doesn't say anything for a minute and then goes, "So she's basically your servant? Is she just here to get the door?" I was thoroughly done with her judgmental butt by that point, and I just asked her to leave. She left, but she did message me afterwards saying I was rude AF for kicking her out after she traveled all the way to see me, and that how else was she supposed to think of my dog with videos like that? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Maybe you should get Nala to show your friend the door. Yes, not the a-hole. Opie sounds like a great dog owner. The friend is the one that is not knowledgeable about dogs, and it was right to ask her to leave for how they were acting. Not the a-hole. Nala sounds like a wonderful dog. So smart. And you sound like an excellent dog parent. Clearly your friend doesn't know anything about dogs, particularly golden retrievers, to thrive in having jobs to do. Good for you for asking your friend to leave after her rude and judgmental comments. That was my first thought too. She clearly doesn't understand dog psychology. For my interpretation, sounds like the friend needs to learn that not every thought or opinion needs to be voiced. Think my choice of dog name is overrated or cheesy? Fine, but keep it to yourself. Not the a-hole. How else is she supposed to think? How about think that this dog is more than a dog? Somehow this dog realized that its owner had a disability and found a way to help with that. Out of love. This is actually one of the most beautiful things I have ever heard. Your friend trying to turn it into some sort of animal exploitation story is twisted and awful. It speaks volumes that she would immediately go there, as opposed to seeing the sweet animal as anything other than a caring friend. Actually kind of gross. Many dogs love having jobs and interacting with their owners. Other animals do too. I tend to notice that some people who don't have animals in their lives often don't understand that animals not only like doing stuff for, /with, /alongside humans, animals even seek humans out. They just jump to cruelty, animal mistreatment, slavery, immediately without evidence. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling her I'd never choose her over my dog? I got a dog 2 years ago. She's a perfect corgi mix. Super loving, and is always happy to see me. But she has issues that my fiancé of 6 years has never been able to get over, such as resource guarding and anxiety. My dog whines more often than not. Like if I leave the room, she whines. If I walk out to leave, she will bolt out at the door going 110 miles per hour and whine at the car door because she doesn't want me to leave without her. She never bonded with my fiancé. She absolutely tried, but my dog never cared, to be blunt. She's a one-person dog, and I'm her person. Now, the issue is that my fiancé recently found out that she's pregnant. We were told this was impossible and had planned our life out not involving children because we were seriously told by numerous doctors that she could not conceive. She's absolutely terrified. Well, I'm completely indifferent because I was on the fence about kids anyways. And then I was told she couldn't have any, so I was expecting a kid-free life and was fine with it. I mean, we are freaking 30 already. But regardless, there is a piece of me that is stupid excited. So I'm sure my mind will eventually be full-on excited versus kind of put off. The issue is that my wife doesn't want my dog around a baby because of the dog's resource guarding. There are some days where my fiancé can't even get close to me without my dog losing her mind. And she does nip, herding mix. Not hard, but still nips. Yes, she's been in and out of training. She's also in meds for anxiety. Nothing has helped, and if anything, she has regressed. So she doesn't want the dog around our baby. A part of me understands, but a much, much bigger part of me is completely unwilling to let go of my dog, who my fiancé doesn't like anyways. It almost feels like she thinks this is her excuse to get rid of my dog. So anyways, we got into a heated argument about it and I finally snapped and said, I would never freaking choose you over my dog. And I left. Stayed at a hotel for a few days and we didn't speak. I came back today with my dog and she won't even look at me. The second me or the dog walk anywhere near her, she makes a point to walk in the opposite direction. My friends are on my side, but I want unbiased feedback. Yordi A-hole. Wow, man. Your fiancé was in your life before the dog was. And in theory, it will be after the dog is ashes and dust. The dog is poorly trained and likely to be unsafe around children. And you're choosing the dog over your future wife? WTF. You'd almost have a point if the dog was in your life first. But there was zero chance I'm staying with someone who tells me that they'd take our new pet over me. No, it is not relevant whether the dog was there first. If you have a dog that resource guards to the point where the fiancé risks getting bit by going near him, you get rid of the dog before the baby comes. End of story. Yordi A-hole. This is coming from someone who really dislikes babies. Your dog guarding you from your wife will quickly turn into your dog guarding you from your child. Think about how that will make your child feel. Terrified that a dog who nips their heels will keep them away from their father. That will hamper your relationship with your child. You made your stance clear though. I hope she's either preparing to become a single mother or calling the nearest abortion clinic. You won't be an equal parent, as you're unable to think about the child's needs. Does anyone else get the sense that OP is likely foster this guarding behavior? All the training in the world doesn't mean anything if it's not consistently followed through at home. And OP seems like he enjoys being his dog's only person. Yordi A-hole. All around a post hurt my stomach. As someone who just got engaged, if my fiancé said anything like this to me, I'd not only be crushed, but I'd consider this the end of the relationship. Yordi A-hole. Why are you with someone you clearly don't even like at a basic level? Your dog will attack your child if you don't do something. What the actual heck is wrong with you? That you don't care that your dog might off your kid? My dog is not going to off the kid. That's dramatic. Dogs have offed children all the time. And yes, the dog can. You aren't taking this seriously. You rather lose fiancé and a child over a dog. Listen, I love my dogs, and I will put myself at risk for them, but never a child. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband and in-laws that our children do not need to attend their older sister's housewarming party? My husband and I have 3 biological children together. He adopted my child from a prior relationship, and I am a stepmother to his adult child. My husband was divorced from my stepdaughter's mom. She was 8 when my husband and I became serious, and my son was still a baby. Not long after my stepdaughter's mom died, my husband and I had talked about marrying before she died, and we delayed it for a couple of years to allow my stepdaughter time to grieve and adjust to the changes in her life. This was with the help of therapy, of course, as we knew a child who lost someone so close would need extra help. Now my stepdaughter is 20, my son is 12, and our children together are 7, 6, and 4. So what happened here is my stepdaughter and her boyfriend recently moved into a house together. She asked for help setting up their dining room, and we all went over to help her. Her house was covered in photos. The landing had them, living room, kitchen, etc. There was not a single photo of her siblings in the house, or me. But it was not seeing one of the kids that led to this. She had her parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, her cousins, and friends, but there was no sign of the kids anywhere. All of the photos with her dad were older ones from before we met. My 12-year-old, 7 and 6-year-olds noticed too, because they were excited to look around her house. I also couldn't help but notice, because her boyfriend had so many of his siblings, and because there were some of what felt like deliberate choices to make sure she used photos that didn't contain her siblings, including extended family photos from years ago with my husband's side that were taken before her dad and I met. And we know she has photos with her siblings. I always knew she was super crazy about her siblings. I always hoped as she got older she would feel love for them. But it feels like she doesn't think of them as family or as special enough to be included. The 3 kids who noticed were hurt. My husband tried to assure them it was likely an oversight on her part, and he called her the next day to ask, and she said she had only wanted photos with people she considered family, and she didn't consider us family. We were all invited to her housewarming party, but the kids did not want to go. My husband and in-laws were shocked and said they had to go, of course. I argued that they didn't, and I told them I would stay home with them. They argued back to me that the kids needed to be. I said that they did not need to be there, and I wouldn't force them to go when they already feel hurt. My husband and in-laws think I'm unreasonable. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Your stepdaughter likely doesn't even want them there. She flat out stated that she doesn't consider them family. I'm sure that's not what your husband wants to hear, but you can't force a relationship. Yeah, I feel like this is an invitation out of obligation, and she's expecting them to refuse to attend due to what happened. Either that or it's a gift grab. Either way, OP's not the a-hole. Stepdaughter can put up whatever pictures she wants in her house, but her manner of explaining it was rude as heck. It being a gift grab makes no sense. Since her dad is still going, she's getting the same amount of presents if her stepmom and half-siblings go or not. Agreed. Likely she is just being polite so her dad will come. Not the a-hole. She clearly told him she doesn't consider the kids family. She's not changing her mind. Making it so the kids are optional, rather than forcing them together at the expense of the younger kids, is going to be better for everyone's relationships. Not the a-hole. But to be very clear, this isn't a judgment on your stepdaughter's decisions regarding her photos, but it's a judgment on your choice to stay home with your children. They should not have to go be subjected to her overt display of her feelings to exclude them from her definition of family. No one should have to be subjected to that. The little ones have the right to make their decisions just as she has. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my future sister-in-law that I don't have time to be her maid of honor? I, 25 female, have been married to my husband, 29 male, for a few years now. He has a younger brother who recently got engaged. I have known his brother's girlfriend for 4 years, but we're not extremely close, though we hang out whenever there's a family get-together. Anyways, for a bridal party, she asked me to be the maid of honor. She has 4 other bridesmaids, composed of cousins and old school friends. I told her that I'm very grateful that she has asked me, but unfortunately, I don't have the time to do all the things expected of a maid of honor. I just had my first baby in November, and it's a lot, and she has expressed wanting a bridal shower, bachelorette party, etc. I told her I can just be a regular bridesmaid. She seemed fine, but afterwards, my husband told me that she was venting to my brother and telling him that I'm being cold to her. According to her, she thinks I'm lying by saying I'm too busy because I'm on maternity leave and that I have all the time in the world, while all her other friends work full-time. My husband agrees with me, but his brother called me said I should try to be accommodating to her. I reconsidered, and I told her that I would be her maid of honor if she covers half of the responsibilities, like planning the bachelorette party. He said he would get back to me. The next day, she calls me and asks me why I'm being so difficult. She says I'm the only one at the bridal party not working, and that I should step up. I told her again that I'm on maternity leave taking care of a baby, and it is actually even more demanding than full-time work. She ended the call quite upset. Am I the a-hole for not being accommodating enough? 1. Maternity leave is not a vacation, and she's delusional to think it is. 2. Even if you were on vacation, why would you give up your free time to run errands for her? She's entirely too entitled. 3. She's asked someone she's not even close to be her maid of honor, based strictly on perceived availability. She's either clueless or friendless, but probably both. I hate that people pick bridesmaids and maid of honors just to make them work and plan everything extra and pay all this extra. My mom and sister ran my bridal shower, so my mom paid. Even still, it wasn't that fancy. My bachelorette was karaoke and dancing and getting manicures. Everyone able to make it paid for themselves. Karaoke was at a Chili's level restaurant. A couple of them helped me dress shop, but only if they were available and interested. One of my closest friend only did stuff on the wedding day because the rest gave her anxiety. These people are celebrating with you, but also doing you a favor. The wedding alone is enough obligation. Not the a-hole. I hate when people treat maternity leave like a vacation. This is what happens in a society that doesn't appreciate parenthood. Exactly. Not the a-hole. I'm a guy who took a few weeks off after each birth of my children. In those weeks, I would do everything except the feeding. And it's hard work, though very satisfying. That, combined with lack of sleep, and for a mom, also a body that went through a lot, it's hard. And I don't envy the new moms. Not the a-hole. If I was you, I would post a question of why she's being so insistent. As you said, you are cordial at family gatherings, but you aren't exactly besties. And a maid of honor needs to be someone that not only has the time to be invested in the wedding, but someone that is invested in the bride as well, as the entire point of the maid of honor is to make everything as smooth for the bride as possible. Was she your maid of honor or something? I just can't wrap my mind in why she would want someone that has a cordial relationship with to fill such a big role. She started dating my husband's brother after I got married, so she didn't play a role in my wedding. I think she asked me to be maid of honor for 2 reasons. 1, I'm on maternity leave, and 2, my husband and I probably earn a bit more than her other friends, so we can contribute more financially to her bridal events. First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for hiding what I got left by my grandma from my stepsister? My parents are divorced. I, 16 female, lost my grandma from COVID in April. She left me her really cute and also delicate jewelry, and all the jewelry she had gathered over the years, including some nice necklaces, bracelets, and rings. Her engagement ring was there too, but my dad kept that safe for me anyway because I think he was a little worried my mom would try to claim it. Anyway, when the stuff first made it into the house, my stepsister, 14 female, took an interest in everything I had and wanted to look and touch and for me to share. I told her no. She was upset and said we need to share things, and I told her not when it was sentimentally valuable and something my grandma left me. She told me we're sisters, so I should share, and I told her no because she has nothing to do with my dad's side of the family. It got more heated. My stepdad wanted me to share. My mom told me to let her use one thing occasionally. Eventually, I had enough of trying to protect it, especially after I caught her searching my room for it, and I made the decision to leave it at my dad's, and then I decided to leave there more than here. So, I only see my mom every other weekend, and my mom still thinks I should have left it there for sharing. I explained my decision to her, and she told me that it's unfair for me not to share when I would be a bio sister. I told her I would if my grandma was their grandma, but she has nothing to do with my grandma, and never did. She told me that's not fair when she's as much my sister as a bio would be. I said, no, she's not. Not when it comes to my dad and my paternal family, because she will never be part of their lives or get anything from them, and she's not entitled to it. I said she has her dad's family if she wants that kind of relationship. My stepsister has been calling me a witch ever since I took the box away. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. You handled the situation very well, and I'm appalled that the adults in the house couldn't respect your decision. Exactly. Not the a-hole. Your mother or steps do not get to decide what you do with your inheritance. God forbid she lost one of the pieces, they wouldn't take the blame and twist it on OP. Not the a-hole. Not even close on this one. Who demands someone else's sentimental inheritance? Your mom is the biggest a-hole because she should be the adult voice of reason. Plus, it's not her late mother's jewelry, so why is she involved? Your dad keeping the engagement ring safe is very telling of your mom's behavior. Glad you have your dad's place to get away to, and some things to remember your grandma. That's probably exactly why she's involved. It's her former mother-in-law's jewelry, so she doesn't feel the need to respect sentimentality, because for her there isn't any. As far as she's concerned, she just wants to go with the action that will lead to a quick resolution and quiet things down in her home, which is to force Sophie to share. She'd probably be more understanding if it was her own late mother's jewelry. Not a a-hole. The stuff is the final gift from your grandma. The value it holds because of that is incalculable. Blended families are tricky. I get them wanting equality and fairness, but that should apply to how they treat you, etc. It has no bearing on your inheritance. The lack of respect for your boundaries isn't pleasant. Is your stepsister normally indulged? Used to having her own way? There has been a lot of, we're family now, we share and we don't let the step define things. And she has liked it and embraced it. and they let her use it to get her own way more. Yeah. That's wrong. Share a console, take turns to pick a movie, have equal allowance, equal chores. But taking from one to give to the other isn't being balanced or giving equal treatment. That's preferential and literally the opposite of what they're saying. They basically view it as it's wrong for me to say what I do because we're family, which makes her my grandma's family, but she never was. They never met, and they never had anything to do with each other. She's not married into my dad's family or related by blood, so that's it. They did that stuff when we were a little younger too. She got this trampoline for her birthday, and my mom kept pushing me to use it because I had wanted one when I was younger. But it was a one-person trampoline, so it meant if I used it, she couldn't, and it was just so weird. Now let's read the next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to invite my brother to my wedding? About 5 years ago I was engaged, and my then fiancé ran off with my best friend and roommate. This led to all sorts of bad things happening. A few months later, my brother got married to his longtime fiancé, and I found my ex was the maid of honor at his wedding, and he made a guy she ran off with his best man. Ever since then, I have refused to have anything to do with my brother. Recently, my brother and his wife had a baby, and due to some postpartum issues, my mother has been caring for the child. So recently, my fiancé went dress shopping and invited her mom, my mom, at her wedding party. Apparently, during the drive, my mother started talking about how I should just forget what happened, forgive my brother and move on. When I was told this, I lost it. I told my mother I would never invite my brother, and that he has no place in my life. He's not a brother to me. She also thinks that because my other brother in Germany is coming, that my younger brother deserves to see him. I said that's up to him, but not at my wedding. My fiancé says I should bury the hatchet, because it's not fair that my nephew will never know me. I said if the child reaches out to me later in life, I am fine with that, but I stood my ground about not letting my brother attend a wedding, or be part of my life. This has been going on for months, and it seems like everyone is leaning to his side. Am I really the a-hole here? Edit. For everyone asking if he's ever apologized, he hasn't. 1 year he did have my mother give me a Christmas present. It was a doormat with my name on it. I thought it was insulting. My mother said it was him trying to extend an olive branch. Edit 2. For those asking about my relationship prior, my brother and I had a healthy relationship prior to this. The general thought process is that his wife didn't have a lot of friends here, so my ex was one of her only local friends. She would be the maid of honor. Douchebag was now her boyfriend, so my ex wanted to walk the aisle with him, so made him the best man. Obviously, this was never going to sit well with me, so the easy thing to do was not to invite me. I'm guessing they thought I would just let it go as I'm usually a mild person. Now for the top comments. Not a-hole. He gave you a doormat as an olive branch? A doormat? A very telling gift. The fact that it literally had my name on it didn't help. He's literally mocking you and calling you a doormat. Your parents are enabling him and using his child as something above you. Leverage. Take note. 1 year he did have my mother give me a Christmas present. It was a doormat with my name on it. I thought it was insulting. My mother said it was him trying to extend an olive branch, then gift him some toilet paper with his name on it for Christmas. After all, it's the thought that count. This actually made me laugh. Thanks for that. Not the a-hole. Excuse me? He made that guy his best man? And called you a doormat? Did I miss something? Why on earth would you ever want to see him? I don't, but my mother seems to think I should get over it. And my fiancé, while she understands why I'm mad at my brother, feels I should bury the hatchet for his child's sake. No offense, OP, but you and I both know their child will survive just fine. I mean, yeah, probably. One small fact that I did leave out because I didn't think it was usually related was, my brother and his wife had a baby before. The baby died at 2 months old due to sudden infant death syndrome. That's probably why my mother is caring for the new baby. I think my fiancé wants to have the opportunity for us to care for the child if the need arises. I don't know that for a fact, but I kinda assume, and I feel like that is part of why she wants me to mend things. Side note, my fiancé has never met my brother or his wife, but my mother has brought a baby around. The next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for erasing my brother? My older sister, Laura 30, younger brother, Elon 26, and I 27, were always really close. Our childhood was difficult. We each portray our scars in different ways. Laura learned that hope brings nothing but pain, cynical but loyal. I'm socially anxious with an intense fear of getting in trouble. And Elon was a problem child with anger issues. Elon has a learning disability, and it affected his ability to progress through school. He scraped by elementary, barely attended middle school, and dropped out of high school nearly the second he got there. Although Elon and I are only a year apart by birth, we were 3 grades apart by the time I graduated elementary school. My mother wouldn't allow us to be in the same school once I entered the 9th grade. My school went from 6th grade to 12th school due to how his outbursts was handled. His teachers never could handle him, but never wanted to admit it. So instead of calling, heaven forbid, his parents, they'd call me or my sister. The issue started when he began stealing. Everything. iPads, phones, money, anything he could get his hands on. I'd been saving my barista tips and walked in on him stealing them after I said I didn't have any money to give him. He just shrugged and said, "I wanted it, and you knew I'd take it." He was not on these. He felt like he could have whatever he wanted. He's charismatic and people generally like him. He knows it. Ultimately, though, he was kicked out of the house. My mother has a soft spot for him and would invite him over whenever possible. As such, he came by for Christmas a few years back. Great. After he left, the family went to visit family. Upon returning, we found the presents gone. Elon later admitted to taking them because he wanted a PlayStation. That was it for me. My dad tried to talk to me into forgiving him, but no. The next year, my brother broke into my father's, parents are divorced, house. My father has since stopped trying to have a relationship with Elon, but thinks I should try. Elon hasn't done anything terrible in the last 3 years, but the family has also taken measures to ensure that he can't. We don't post on when we are going on vacation. We don't invite him to family reunions. If he is in the house, we don't leave him in a room alone. I've cut Elon out of my life. I don't speak to him. I don't acknowledge him. I don't even say his name. As far as I'm concerned, he no longer exists. However, some of my family has been putting pressure on me to forgive him and mend a relationship. They say he's trying to change. He's got a steady job, he's trying to get his GED, and is finally dating a girl his age. He usually dates just made legal girls because women his age notice that he can't read. My family and sometimes friends say that it's unfair for me not to give him a chance. I told them that I hope he's doing well and lives a successful life, but I don't want him in mine. It's a touchy subject and always leaves my parents irritated with me. Am I the a-hole for erasing my brother? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. You didn't burn down the bridges on him, did you? He burned them down himself. That's the problem I'm having. No one thinks he burned bridges. He certainly doesn't think so. Everyone thinks he went off the deep end, and I burned the bridge while he drowned. Not the a-hole. You gave him a lifetime of chances. He used them to steal from you, and then blame you for it. He wiped out the entire family's Christmas in order to get himself a PlayStation. You reached your limit, and you are allowed to say when enough is enough. Clarification. I had to cut out a few explanations because of a character limit. Elon didn't steal the presents to sell them for a PlayStation. We'd bought a PlayStation for our youngest brother, 70-ish at the time, and Elon wanted it. He just took all the other presents as well. It's why I was so upset. He stole from his baby brother, a kid who loved him unconditionally. Not the a-hole. Has this kid had any therapy? He's a checklist of failed systems and parents who couldn't cope with fighting the system. Don't blame them. It's a broken, failing system. Hope you all get what you need. Therapy isn't really something we do in my family. God knows we need it. But no, none of us ever had it. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for flaunting my marriage to my sister? So, my husband and I have been married for about 2 years, and my sister has been married for 7. She has 2 toddlers, so wouldn't be doing anything for New Year's Eve, and we're neighbors, so my husband and I went over to her place to just hang out before we headed out for a night. The 4 of us were sitting and talking, and we went on a trip down memory lane of all the stupid things we did as kids, and I told a funny story of something our brother did which was very stupid, but also hilarious. But he was a teenager and is now just a funny story. He's an aerospace engineer now.
When both of our husbands weren't in the room, she turned to me all mad and said, "You shouldn't say stuff like that about our family in front of the husbands. They'll judge them and think they're stupid." I was quite shocked. So I said, "I never really had to worry about that with my husband because we love each other's family like our own, and he would never judge." Which is 100% true. Both our families have some colorful characters, but we've never cared nor judged that. Well, this pissed her off more, and she went off on me saying I'm flaunting that my marriage and husband is better than hers. We left soon after. My husband said I should have just smiled and agreed to keep the peace, but I wasn't being nefarious in telling her that I genuinely have never worried about what information about my family I tell my husband. So, am I the a-hole for telling my sister my husband doesn't judge our family and loves them as his own? Edit. To everyone saying I should reach out to my sister to see if she's okay. Since she's been this way for the past 2 years, I have regularly tried and even got my mom to try to get her to talk about what's going on, but she's always been a very, very private person and a perfectionist, so we haven't been able to get her to open up. The last time I tried, I told her that they should get family therapy. I don't know if they went or not, but she's certainly not the kind of person who would tell me if she did. Not an a-hole. Your sister is projecting her relationship insecurities onto you, and you shouldn't have to take it just because you have a healthy living relationship with your husband. Sister was drunk, I bet, exaggerating her insecurities. Just because she's insecure in her marriage does not mean you're flaunting yours. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Her insecurities about her husband aren't your fault. You made your comments in complete good faith, so you're not the a-hole here at all. Not the a-hole. Is this a new personality trait of your sister? I'm just asking because some women do 180s and turn into insufferable monsters when they have kids. Your sister is being ridiculous, paranoid, and hyper-defensive. She's been a bit snippy about some things since I got married. If I share a happy story or something cute my husband did that made me happy, which she used to do regularly with me for the 7 years she's been married, she'd make a negative/sarcastic comment or mean joke about it. So I just stopped sharing such stories with her. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you with the next one. Stay safe.